Okay, Mr. Hammer's back here for question number 1 for section 6.4. This is where we're talking about irregular shapes, like this one over here. That's a living room, and they want to know the area. So when we have irregular shapes, we simply break that shape up into different 2 pieces or more pieces, and then we can figure it out. So we have area is going to be area of piece number 1 plus the area of piece number 2. That's going to be pretty simple. Area of piece number 1 is going to be length times width, and area of piece number 2 also going to be length times width. We write down the formula each time. So length times width of number 1, well, our length is 6, so 6 times, it doesn't show us here, but we can see that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so this is going to be 2 just by counting the squares. So our width is going to be 2. And for rectangle number 2, we have 6 here. I can count 6, so my length is 6 and my width is 2. 6 times 2. So I'm going to have 12 plus 12, or 24 meters squared. And that's question number 1. Let's move on to question number 2. So it gets a little bit trickier. Sometimes you have, in this case, the rear of a shed, and here's the front of the shed. And they want the area of the rear wall. That's this piece over here. So I'm going to break it, let's see, into a couple different shapes. I'm going to break it into a trapezoid, and a trapezoid number 1, and rectangle number 2. So area is going to equal to the area of my trapezoid, and I like to draw the little thing there to show what it is, and my rectangle number 2. Let me move all this down, down, down. And so the trapezoid, we know the formula for the area of a trapezoid is going to be top plus bottom in brackets times the height divided by 2. So that's for number 1. Then we're going to add the rectangle, which will be length times width. So what's our top and our bottom here? Well, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Every square is 1 meter, so we can simply count. Our top is 3, our bottom is 7. So 3 plus 7 is our top plus our bottom, times our height. Our height here is simply 2. So multiply by 2. And we're going to divide by 2. Then we're going to add our length times our width, which is 7 for our length and 3 for our width. So 7 times 3. And let's move down, 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 down. And we'll move this again. So 3 plus 7 is 10 times 2 is 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10, plus 7 times 3, which is 21. So it's going to be 31 meters squared. Now the second part of the question says, find the area of this front wall here minus these the 2 windows and the door. Well, we can simply do 31 meters squared, and we can subtract. This is a square here that is a 1 by 1 square. So that's 1 meter square here. The area of that little square is 1 times 1, or 1 meter square. So each square is 1 meter square. So how many squares do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. We can simply subtract 4 meters squared, and that will leave us with 27 meters squared. And that's the end for question number 2. Let's look at number 3. The diagram shows the basement floor of a home. Estimate the area and perimeter of the floor. We're going to skip the well, I guess, let's go ahead and estimate. When I estimate, I'm going to turn that into an 8. This is going to turn into a 6. I'm going to round down. I'll round these 2 sides up to 2. And I guess we'll put that at a 5. Estimate the area and perimeter. So perimeter, that's about 6. Let's say that's about 3. This is 2, this is about 1, let's say, and this is 8. So 8 plus 3 is 11, plus I've got this side here. This side here, which is 5 over here. So 8 plus 3 plus 5, then this side here plus 2, then this side here plus 5. Let me maybe go around and I'll draw it nicely in lines here. So I've got these sides I've got to add up, all of these sides. When I'm adding my perimeter. Okay, I've got to add up all of those sides. So I did this one here, 8, 3, 5, 2, 5. Now I'm down back to this 2, plus this 8, and plus this 6. This is my estimation of perimeter. So 11, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25, 35, and 4, so 39. I'm estimating around 39 meters. Okay, so when we estimate, we turn all our little decimal numbers into these whole numbers. Let's clean up what little mess that I made here. There's my estimation. I'm going to leave off the estimation for area. Now we want to calculate the area and the perimeter. So how are we going to do that? Let's divide this into some shapes here, and let's clean this off a little bit. Let's just remember now I estimated 39. I'm going to reset this page. So I estimated a perimeter of 39 meters. See how close I was. So the area, we're going to divide our shape into some different rectangles here. I'm going to divide it into 3 rectangles. Rectangle 1, rectangle 2, rectangle 3. You've got to be very careful when you're doing these to make sure you've got the right measurements. So I've got rectangle 1 plus rectangle 2 plus rectangle 3. I like to kind of do them to almost to scale so I can have them separated there and know which one I'm talking about. So 1 will be length times width. You know what? I'm going to actually do it off to the side. I'm going to do these areas off to the side so I can keep it neat. So, area of rectangle number 1. Number 1 is going to be length times width. My length is 7.8. That's the easy one. What about this width, though? I've got this shape, this part over here. I don't know what that is. But I know over here that this is 1.6, this part. This line over here that I'm going to draw in red, this is 1.6. I know also that this is 1.6, so that this from here to here is 1.6 plus 1.6, which is a total of 3.2. So if these two together are 3.2, this piece here has to be 6.4 minus 3.2. So this piece here also is 3.2, because 6.4 minus 3.2 will give you 3.2. So I'm going to have 7.8 times 3.2. And that's going to be the area of my first rectangle, which is 7.8 times 3.2 is 24.96 meters squared. What about my second one, area of rectangle number 2? It's this little one over here. I've got one side is 1.6. Let me neaten this up a little bit. I've got 1.6 over here, but how long is this side over here? That's what I have to find out. I've got length times width. I've got a length, I don't know what that is, but my width is 1.6 meters over here. How do I find this part here? Well, I've got 7.8 over here, the whole side, and I've got 4.6 here. If I take 4.6 away from 7.8, I get this little piece here. So 7.8 minus 4.6, that will be 3.2. So this little piece here is 3.2. So 3.2 times 1.6 is going to be my area, which is 5.12 meters squared. And then the last one, area of number 3, length times width again. This one's easy because I know this is 7.8 because it says it over there. So 7.8, and we have our width of 1.6. So 7.8 times 1.6 is 12.48 meters squared. Let's add them all up. 24.96 plus 5.12 plus 12.48. On the trusty old calculator, we get 42.56 meters squared. Not too far off from my estimation, and that shows you how estimation works. Even though you round numbers off, you can be kind of close. Okay, so 42.56 for this question.